Good evening, I'm Anita Bath. Ian Hanamansing is away. Tonight, Ontario shatters COVID case records amid delays for testing and vaccines.
I have an appointment, but I just wanted to make sure that I can get something faster as things are getting worse by the hour.
The province is hitting all-time highs and the implications for you. COVID wreaks havoc on holiday travel.
So Jetstar just contacted me and said they didn't have enough crew to run the flights.
Why airline staff are so vulnerable. And if you're dreaming of a white Christmas in Vancouver, be careful what you wish for. Plus, Shang-Chi star Simu Liu on being a Marvel superhero and what his parents thought about his dreams of becoming an actor.
For parents like ours who immigrated to a new country and fought so hard to have stability, I think it felt like a bit of a slap in the face.
This is The National. On this second pandemic Christmas Eve, as millions of Canadians try to push COVID-19 from their minds, if only for a little while, alarming new numbers show just how hard that is. Now, not all provinces reported figures today, but of those that did, more shattered records. Ontario, more than 9,500 cases, a jump of almost 4,000 in one day. Quebec exceeding its record again today with more than 10,000, and BC reporting more than 2,400, another all-time high. New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Manitoba also setting new records. And yet this growing tidal wave is not translating into a major spike in hospitalizations. Still, health officials plead with Canadians to get tested and get their booster shots, even as supplies of both lag far behind demand. Marina von Stackelberg looks at the situation across the country today.
On the day Ontario smashed another record for new COVID-19 infections, more lines for a booster vaccine.
I have an appointment which is like way far away, but I just wanted to make sure that I can get something faster as things are getting worse by the hour.
Those accelerating case numbers across Canada are likely even higher than reported, as the wait to get test results, even to get a test in the first place, grows. Some provinces have maxed out their swabbing capacity. Now they're trying to conserve resources.
So I want to be very clear. Do not go to a testing center unless you have symptoms. And then we need to preserve the more accurate PCR testing for those who really need it.
Younger Manitobans, those under age 40, those without underlying medical conditions, if you have respiratory symptoms, cold-like symptoms, flu-like symptoms, you can assume you have Omicron. You can stay home and isolate. You don't necessarily need to go get tested.
Quebec is ordering millions of extra rapid tests as the worst-hit province also starts to prepare for a hospital surge. Nearly 500 of Quebec's healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19 in just one day. Now the province is reportedly considering letting infected staff keep working as long as they don't have symptoms, a plan being met with objection.
Things evolve quite rapidly. You might have someone that's asymptomatic and infected and within a couple of hours are symptomatic, and the next thing you know, we're infecting people who are patients and infecting our colleagues, and we have outbreaks in our hospital and we lose more healthcare staff.
Nunavut is in a lockdown with cases now in 4 regions. Anyone who arrives in the territory who isn't triple vaccinated must self-isolate, as healthcare workers across the country beg Canadians to cut down their contacts.
If we see all of these infections all at once without some spacing out due to restrictions on gatherings, then we're going to have a real problem again.
And Marina, with the holidays upon us, are we getting any official recommendations on whether Canadians should change holiday plans?
Well, on a day that Ontario broke this record for new infections, we didn't hear anything from government officials. The health minister did tweet that they are keeping an eye on the data. In Manitoba, the public health officer there urged people to cut down on the size of their holiday gatherings, but he stopped short of bringing in any new restrictions there, hinting some could be coming next week. And that's likely the next time we will know how severe this situation is getting, as many provinces will not be reporting COVID-19 infection data over the holiday weekend. Anita?
Thanks, Marina. For more insight, let's bring in epidemiologist Rewat Deonandan. He joins me from Toronto. Rewat, as we said earlier, that spike in Omicron cases still hasn't been enough to drive up hospitalizations. Should we take comfort in that, or is there reason to worry those numbers will in fact creep up?
We should take comfort in it. There's always a reason to be hopeful here. But we have data out of the UK that suggests that, yeah, there may be an intrinsic mildness to Omicron as compared to Delta, but it's not by a lot. And the hypercontagiousness of Omicron means that even that mildness probably won't protect the healthcare system. So that's why we have to curtail transmission as much as we can. A tiny fraction of a large number is still going to be a very large number.
So though we want to curtail transmission, it is still happening at a fast rate. Can you give us a reminder of some of the tools Canadians have to get us through this? Because I think for a lot of people, it's getting harder.
Yeah. The important point here is that COVID is airborne, and that means we have engineering tools as well as personal choice tools to use. Those engineering tools include HEPA filters, ventilation, keeping your windows open. They include N95 respirator masks, not just the blue surgical mask we all become used to, but a fitted respirator mask. As well, we have rapid tests. It's hard to get them these days, but rapid tests are a really useful tool to maybe if you're going to have a gathering, making sure that people present are unlikely to be infectious. And of course, vaccination. Vaccination remains our number one tool. If you're not vaccinated, please become vaccinated. If you haven't been boosted, seek out a booster. I'll also add symptom checks. If you're symptomatic, regardless of your vaccination status, maybe don't be seeing people right now until your symptoms abate.
And at what point do you think then that we just learn to live with COVID like we do with a common cold or flu?
Yeah, that's a dangerous and interesting question. Omicron might just be the last great COVID battle in this pandemic, and it might take us into the end of the spring. Some of the modeling suggests that, at which point you might have sufficient immunity from recovery and infection combined with vaccination that the waves become unlikely from there on out. So I think sometime in 2022, we're going to see endemicity of COVID. Will it be early or late in 2022? That's yet to be seen.
Everyone's hopeful for sure. Thanks, Rewat.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Omicron is creating holiday turbulence for air travelers. It's making flight crews sick, and there aren't enough workers to replace them, leaving hundreds of flights canceled around the world. But as Katie Nicholson shows us, Canadian carriers seem to be immune so far.
Bags packed, masks and ugly Christmas sweaters on. And for some travelers, disappointment.
Our cousins are flying from New Jersey. Their flight got canceled.
Holiday plans ruined for thousands of passengers worldwide, whose Christmas flights have been scrubbed as Omicron surges through flight crews and airline staff.
Unfortunately, it's very difficult to travel at the moment.
Australia's busiest airport full of frustrated would-be passengers, bound for 80 cancelled flights.
So Jetstar just contacted me and said they didn't have enough crew to run the flights.
German carrier Lufthansa also forced to cancel a dozen long-haul flights over the holidays, citing a massive rise in sick leave. America's biggest airlines, Delta, United, Alaska Airlines, collectively canceled hundreds of Christmas Eve flights because of a COVID staffing crunch. In Canada, WestJet says it's had a few issues, but mostly due to weather. While Air Canada says it hasn't been impacted as much as other carriers, and it has the crews it needs to operate its schedule. Still, Canadian Airlines could be next.
It's a question of how much circulating COVID you have in the community and whether people are traveling.
And he says flight crews are at higher risk of exposure.
When you work on a plane, you can't work from home. What they're seeing in the airlines is to a certain extent almost what we've been seeing in the healthcare system, which is that at a certain point, if enough people get sick, you can't have your business function properly anymore.
Those lucky enough to take off today already preparing for problems with their return flights.
That's why it's good to have plan B, C, D, E, F. You know, if I'm not able to get into a Delta, I'll go in JetBlue.
A new reality that as COVID rates soar, some planes won't. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Washington.
Canadian college and university students are now spending their second Christmas break wondering what the pandemic has in store for them next. For almost 2 years, it's been disruption after disruption. Julia Wong looks at COVID's impact on students' mental health.
It's been a challenge for sure. Preston Hodgkinson enjoyed online learning at university when the pandemic first began, but
weeks became months and months became years. I really noticed that my motivation to actually do the classes went way down.
he is not able to easily meet other students, interact with his professors, or participate in clubs and activities.
It's had a pretty big detriment on my mental health.
Many post-secondary institutions across the country are moving back to online learning again after the new year, thanks to the surge of the Omicron variant. And there's growing concern about student mental health.
The impact has been extreme. Probably the worst I've seen in 25 years of teaching. You know, we're finding that they're lonely, they're feeling disconnected.
In BC, Provincial Health Officer Dr. Bonnie Henry has expressed her concern, writing a letter saying, "At this time, public health experts in BC strongly recommend continuation of on-campus instruction for post-secondary institutions in January 2022, adding, educational settings are low risk for COVID-19 transmission."
It's easy to say to stop everything instead of kind of just assessing the situation and trying to offer alternative options to students.
The lack of a normal campus experience has some worried this age group is missing out on pivotal life skills.
They're unable to build that social network like they used to. They're not getting a job and learning those kind of like early career skills or any kind of like hands-on experiences.
Which is even more pressing for college students trying to learn more technical skills in an era of COVID disruptions. These are all things Hodgkinson worries about.
These are critical years for a lot of people my age in university.
For now, he's getting by and hoping he can fully return to the classroom and university life eventually. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
And today, the Prime Minister shared his Christmas message with the nation. For a second time during the pandemic, he urged Canadians to be careful, considerate, and hopeful.
Now, I know it might not feel like we have a whole lot to be hopeful about. After all, 2021 was another tough year, and we're not out of the woods yet. Over the past year, we helped our neighbors. We supported our local businesses. We stayed home, skipped celebrations, and wore masks to keep each other safe. Our kids missed sleepovers and birthday parties, and we rolled up our sleeves to get vaccinated so we could defeat this virus. Let's keep being safe and smart, and let's finish the fight against COVID-19 so we can build a better future for everyone. My friends, brighter days are ahead, and we'll reach them together.
Before the arrival of Omicron, Canada's labour market was making a comeback, but one sector has never recovered. It's the number of people who are self-employed. Jacqueline Hansen now on what's driving the downward shift and whether it will stick.
Michelle Palmer has been self-employed for 8 years, but the pandemic has made her question it.
I think, is this the last month for pause? Every single month.
Palmer owns a beauty spa in Toronto where COVID restrictions forced her to close for 10 months.
Our debt load is in the six figures right now.
Economic strategist Richard Diaz has watched the number of self-employed people in Canada shrink from about 2.9 million in 2019 to 2.6 now. He blames the government's pandemic response.
It favored giant corporates who obviously are structured much better to navigate difficult situations versus the humble shopkeeper.
Right here. Okay. Data shows some of Canada's self-employed people have been hired elsewhere, like copywriter Shannon Mulligan. A tech startup recently won her over.
Moving from freelance to full-time was not something I was really ready to do, but it was really just an overwhelmingly exciting opportunity.
The professional, scientific and technical self-employed people were all gobbled up by corporates effectively. But if you're agriculture, that hasn't snapped back. If you're in construction, that hasn't snapped back. And if you're in other services, that hasn't snapped back.
Diaz worries the impacts for those people could be profound and prolonged, and he's not alone.
The message that we've sent to entrepreneurs over the last 2 years has been a pretty negative one.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business expects a further reckoning in 2022.
As the business support programs wind down, I think many business owners will not see a pathway back to profitability.
Despite thoughts of walking away from it all, Palmer says she just can't.
Working for myself, it's the most empowering thing I've ever done for myself, and I am not willing to give that up lightly.
Even if the financial impact of COVID lasts longer than the pandemic itself. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Toronto.
Okay, here in Vancouver, the chances of a white Christmas are usually pretty slim compared with most major Canadian cities. But this year, we might actually get one. After months of extreme and unusual weather events in BC, more of it is on the way. Susanna De Silva shows us how that's not stopping some people from carrying on.
There's determination, and then there's determination.
Oh, it's snowing. The weak version of me told me, okay, today just take a day off. But the new version of me, the stronger version of me, can't accept this.
He moved from Kuwait 2 years ago with aspirations of boxing, but gyms now closed thanks to COVID. A little snow wasn't going to stop him.
It makes you present because we usually overthink too much social media, too much everything. We overthink. Once you're present, because your body is cold, right? It requires your attention. I'm cold, I'm cool.
But the snow today with high winds did stop crews from running equipment needed to clear ice off the cables on the Alex Fraser Bridge, shutting it down until early afternoon. And there is more coming, with a likely rare white Christmas on the south coast with 5 to 10 centimeters in Metro Vancouver. With places like Vancouver Island expecting to be even harder hit. Then after the snow comes potentially daily record-breaking cold.
Monday morning on the 27th, lows down to -12. Now that's going to combine with some cold winds coming out of the Fraser Valley and from Howe Sound. So the wind chill values could be pushing -20.
Yes, please.
A food truck sponsored by Surrey Sikh Temple has now begun a 24-hour hot meal service for those living on the streets.
These days, some people come with breads, some people come with donors, but in a cold, I think they need a hot meal.
Have a nice hot meal like this is great.
Abdul Wahab says he will see what adjustments he will need to make.
In Vancouver, it's my first time experiencing -20. I don't know how it's gonna feel, but if I can do push-ups, it's all good.
And everyone is being told to be ready for another set of extremes to hit the province. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
The U.S. Justice Department has released a new video of the Capitol Hill riot on January 6th. It shows a 3-hour battle between Capitol Police and the crowd from a fresh perspective. The video, taken by a security camera in a tunnel of the complex, has no sound. It starts as officers retreat, helping each other as they stumble inside, having been hit with chemical spray. The crowds then push in behind them, leading to a tense standoff lasting well over an hour. And despite several attempts by the rioters and using whatever they could as a weapon, police were able to keep the tunnel secure. Donald Trump has announced he'll hold a news conference on January 6th, the anniversary of the siege. And more evidence today that China is cracking down on dissent in Hong Kong. 2 more pieces of art marking the massacre in Tiananmen Square have been removed. As Rafi Bouchakanian explains, they were key symbols of the freedoms promised to the former British colony.
This truck was filmed at dawn yesterday, driving off from a Hong Kong university. Inside, a statue commemorating the 1989 massacre at Tiananmen Square. That was just the start. Overnight, 2 more Tiananmen statues vanished from 2 more universities. I was shocked that such important and symbolic statues disappeared overnight, said this former student. Authorities called the goddess of democracy unauthorized. At Lingdon University, a wall relief sculpture was removed. They are afraid of being photographed and embarrassed during the day, says the artist, so they removed them secretly at night, like thieves. The sculptor of the first statue taken has mused about rebuilding it in front of China's embassy in Washington.
This is not about the sculpture. This is about erase your story. This is about to send a signal to the Hong Kong people. Don't talk about the Tiananmen crackdown.
Commemorating Tiananmen Square has been forbidden in mainland China for decades, but last year Beijing passed a sweeping national security law giving it more power to crack down on what it calls subversive activity in Hong Kong. And this week, Hong Kong held elections where all candidates had to be vetted and approved by China.
What we are seeing right now is an entire erosion of one country, two system that was promised by China.
This Toronto-based activist warns the overreach will only get worse if the world stays silent.
We're dealing with a bully, and as you know, dealing with a bully, the more you give in, the more the bully is going to step on you.
Kwan is even concerned about Chinese interference into pro-Hong Kong movements based here in Canada. Ottawa has condemned both the erosion of democracy during the elections as well as the removal of the art. Rafi Bujikani on CBC News, Ottawa.
Many were predicting that the pandemic would be the death of cinemas.
If anything happens.
Coming up, film fans return to theaters, but only for select movies.
There is that need to get out of the house.
And one of the most successful movies this year, Shang-Chi.
You can't outrun who you really are.
We speak with Simu Liu about being picked as Marvel's new hero.
Not seeing myself ever reflected in that way also affected me.
And the chef that's gunning for the first Michelin star for Filipino cuisine anywhere.
And I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be the only one that does it.
We're back in 2. The movie industry has been turned on its head by the pandemic, and it may never be the same. The hybrid model of movie releases has become almost standard in the industry, with films often opening on both the big and small screen at the same time. Eli Glasner shows us how that will affect the movies you see in the future.
When the pandemic first struck, it was a dark time for film fans. Major titles were delayed while movie theaters closed and studios pivoted to streaming.
Many people thought that would be the end of the movie theater, that would be the linchpin to bring on this accelerated change.
But as vaccines kicked in, movies came back. Fans turned up in droves to see movies such as Dune on the big screen, even though streaming was an option.
It's just feels so like it's been so long since we've been in the theaters, and so to have that collective experience with everybody and seeing it in IMAX is just incredible.
There is that need to get out of the house, and I think while the streaming option has been fantastic, a lot of studios are now realizing that it only really worked during the pandemic.
So going to the movies is back, right? Well, sorta. First, a reality check. With over $3 billion US in box office revenue for North America to date, 2021 is an encouraging improvement on 2020, but far from the glory days of when yearly totals of $10 billion and higher were the norm. There are some bright spots. With the second biggest opening in Hollywood history, Spider-Man No Way Home showed fans will show up for superheroes and sequels. What didn't perform so well?
I'm innocent!
Adult dramas. This director is looking forward to seeing her first film, This Place, on the big screen.
Especially for myself as a BIPOC creator who's creating films that are focused on BIPOC communities, to be able to see ourselves larger than life on a big screen is something that I never take for granted and I think is so sacred.
But with star-studded films such as House of Gucci and King Richard fizzling on the big screen, what space is there for Canadian storytellers?
I think for all of us who are not used to having our films be supported in the same ways or having access to the same spaces, we're even more scared.
The reality is, with COVID-19 still a threat and fewer theaters, the industry will need to serve up big screen thrills with smaller budgets. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
One movie that rocked the box office this year, Marvel's Shang-Chi.
Who are you?
And with its release, Simu Liu became a household name.
It's a whirlwind. It's still a whirlwind. The whole 2 years has been a whirlwind.
Our conversation with a Canadian superstar next.
It's time to show the world who I really am.
And show us he did. Canadian Simu Liu joined the Marvel Cineverse this year as its first Asian superhero in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Released Labor Day weekend, the movie became a huge success, earning nearly $500 million US at the box office. A sequel has already been announced, and the film has also been praised for its predominantly Asian cast. Earlier this season, Andrew caught up with Simu Liu to talk about his groundbreaking turn as Shang-Chi.
Is this what you wanted?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Marvel's first superhero flick with an Asian lead. It's a major milestone and a big roll of the dice, screening only in theaters for the next month and a half. Will people watch in a pandemic?
Welcome back, movie lovers. I got a couple of people to say hi to.
But beyond opening day jitters, you'll find a man who's been laying groundwork for years, playing Jung on Kim's Convenience, honing his martial arts and stunt work, plus a prophetic tweet or two.
Who are you?
I met up with Simu Liu in Toronto to talk about how he's cast a mold for generations to come.
Simu, long time no talk. How you been?
It's yeah, some things have changed since the last time that we sat down.
Yeah, you're kind of a bigger deal now, huh?
It's a full circle moment. I remember sitting down with you on the set of Kim's Convenience days after I had gotten announced at Comic-Con and talking about what a whirlwind that was, and here I am now. Saying the same tune. It's a whirlwind. It's still a whirlwind. The whole 2 years has been a whirlwind.
Well, and even funny enough, even since our last interview in the actual convenience store of Kim's Convenience, we bumped into each other. It must have been like several weeks ago.
On Front Street,
just randomly downtown
I was just
Toronto.
walking around,
And I remember asking you about how surreal it must have been to see the trailer for the movie. Tell me, what was it like to sit down and actually watch the whole movie?
They picture locked the movie, and then I got a call right away from Marvel, and they basically were like, look, you have a choice. You can either screen it in Toronto, or we can screen it for you and some friends in LA. My thoughts went right away to my parents, who, I owe everything to, and I've been very vocal about that. And I was like, nothing would make me happier than sitting down with them in a theater and experiencing this movie for the first time with them. So that's what we did.
But they haven't made your career easy, have they?
No, I wouldn't say that
they've kind of pushed you the whole way, right?
Yes, well, they did it with the best of intentions, I'm sure. For parents like ours who immigrated to a new country and fought so hard to have stability for the family, I think it felt like a bit of a slap in the face for their kid to be like, I'm gonna throw all of that away, and by the way, all the money that you invested in my education to be an accountant, and I'm just gonna do like Bell commercials and one-liners on TV shows. They were like, what? Like, what is your plan? Where is all this coming from? I mean, I'm sure it was a lot for them to take in. So thankfully now it's finally gotten to a point where I'm able to provide that sense of stability back to them.
But a lot of people won't know that even during your time on Kim's Convenience, your parents weren't entirely convinced, right? Even despite that success. And so it kind of makes me wonder, okay, now you've had this.
Yeah.
Does that kind of seal the
This
deal?
is a little bit bigger. I think it was what really sealed it for them was like seeing all of the Chinese news outlets, the Chinese language posters, and all of that marketing come out. I think it just kind of really opened their eyes to just how global of a phenomenon Marvel was, and just how much of a deal it was to be a part of one of their franchises.
Speaking of the wave that's behind you, have you seen this clip? Do you know who this is?
That is Mr. Donnie Yen, yes, of course.
Have you seen this clip?
I believe I have, yes.
Let's just play it for you.
Yes.
Okay?
Continue to strive to represent Asian. I'm Chinese. I take pride of my origins. I think that opportunities in Western filmmaking should be fair and equal. I look forward to see that film.
So, first of all, here.
So he said he's going to watch the movie. I think that's what I got. That was that was what I got out of the whole thing.
Have you? By the way, have you seen Hero?
Of course. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, huge martial arts movie. It must have been from 20 years ago.
Yes, nearly.
Donnie Yen.
That chess
courtyard scene.
Of course.
He's in it. Your co-star,
Tony Leung, yes.
Tony Leung is in there.
My favorite scene in the entire movie, which is Tony Leung's character, Jet Li's character, dueling, in the air, dancing across this like pond.
But you know what? There are so many fewer degrees of separation now between you and those guys that you and I both grew up watching. So when you hear someone like Donnie Yen say the kinds of things that he's telling you and that he's going to watch the film, what does that actually mean to you?
I mean, I think it validates a lot of my dreams and aspirations that I've had for forever. And I think it was so wonderful hearing him say, "Don't forget your heritage, your roots, your parents' story, and carry those things with you as you ascend." And I hear him, and I plan on it.
I know a lot of grown-ups who want to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I also know a lot of kids who want to see this movie. And that's kind of important here too, right? Because, I think of Black Panther, right? Comparable thing where a lot of kids got really excited to see that. And it occurs to me that this is kind of, an opportunity for Asian representation because it's a superhero flick, right? That may not have presented itself necessarily in quite the same way with a movie like Crazy Rich Asians, which would have been for a different age group,
definitely,
perhaps,
definitely.
Right? Like, what's your sense of that when you think of the younger kids?
Well, I think of what superheroes meant to me when I was a kid, and when I was younger, they were all I cared about. I was obsessed with superheroes. I mean, just this idea. I mean, first of all, I was a misfit kid. Son of immigrant parents, struggling to fit in.
You
constantly.
were the good kid. You were doing all your homework.
I was socially awkward, to say the least. That being said, not seeing myself ever reflected in that way also affected me. And I think made me feel like I never played for the home team. Like I was never at home in any space that I occupied, whether it be at school or out in public with my family. We were always treated like we were visitors. I think something special happens when you see yourself as a superhero. I think superheroes represent hope. If you see yourself as a superhero, you could be anybody. And if you don't see yourself as that, if you see yourself as the side character, as a stereotype, then maybe you internalize what that is, and you internalize the way that the media views you, and you allow that to color your sense of self-worth and self-image.
I got to ask you about Kim's Convenience. Huge milestone moment, right? For comedy in Canada,
absolutely.
For Asian representation in this country. But it ended in a really complicated way. Did that show live up to its potential? What was it missing? What was its legacy?
If you were to ask me if I was proud of each and every single episode, of coming to work every day and getting to work with Jean and work with Paul and Andrea and Andrew and Nicole, I would say 100% yes. It gave me great pride, and I'm very proud of everything that the show has accomplished. I'm proud of the fact that families still will, approach me, will approach us on the street and talk about how Kim's Convenience brought the entire family closer together. If you were to ask me if I felt like the show lived up to its full potential, I would say no. I would say, I wanted so much more out of all of our characters, out of our stories. I wanted to tell the stories that reflected my life and my experiences, and I felt like there was just such a missed opportunity.
I have time just for one last question for you. Without spoiling anything in the movie, one line that really sticks out to me, as I'm sure it might have stuck out for you, is the one about the trajectory of your character in the movie. It will be like nothing you have ever experienced. Your life will never be the same. And I was wondering if that character was talking to Shang-Chi or to Simu.
That character was talking to both of us, and when I was on set shooting that scene, I remember getting chills. There was a sense, even when I got the call from Kevin Feige, all those moons ago, and a sense, at the premiere on Hollywood Boulevard, when I walked down the red carpet with my parents, that nothing would ever be the same. And I'm still very much feeling that.
Simu, congratulations.
Thank you, Andrew.
Since that conversation, Simu Liu has continued to ride his success as a superhero and break through a few more barriers. In November, he became one of the few Asian actors to host Saturday Night Live. And just a couple of weeks ago, he took home the People's Choice Award for Best Action Movie Star, beating out tough guys like Daniel Craig as James Bond. And the fight for Asian representation is happening not just on screen, but in the kitchen as well.
Look how good that looks. Yeah, buddy.
We speak to a celebrity chef who says Filipino food is ready for the limelight. Stay with us. It's a holiday gift for Prince Edward Island farmers. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has declared P.E.I. potatoes clear of potato wart. Ottawa banned exports in November after the wart was found in 2 farms. They've since been quarantined, and the CFIA is making sure the fungus doesn't spread. Potatoes are worth more than $1 billion every year to PEI's economy. In this season of festive food, a tasty treat that may not be too familiar to some, but that could soon change if a Canadian chef has his way. He wants to take the flavors of his Filipino upbringing to the highest echelon of restaurant cuisine. Last summer, Chris Reyes introduced us to Jordan Andino, a man on a Michelin mission.
It's a hell of a day.
I know. It's
Friday
good.
afternoon. You're going to be like, oh, they live in New York.
West Village at a Filipino taqueria called Flip Siggy. A conversation with owner and chef Jordan Andino for 2 hours about why Filipino food, for all its rave reviews, has never been awarded a restaurant's top honor, a Michelin star.
We are so much more than just a simplistic fried pig eating country.
There is a lot of ground to break with Filipino cuisine.
There's so much. We're using the literal intestines where all the nastiness goes. We're eating that, right? As long as it's cleaned properly and done well, it's delicious.
Lola.
The grandmother who taught him to cook back in Toronto, his clue to what's kept Filipino food mostly in home kitchens and out of fine dining restaurants.
There's certain things that my Lola has made that I see her do it. It's technically wrong. From like uneven chopped up pieces of garlic with some of the skin still on and the root still there, just throws it in a pot. Simmers and magic.
A kind of magic that Andino says belongs in that elite red book. Only about 2,800 restaurants worldwide have a Michelin star. The criteria: quality of ingredients used, mastery of flavor and technique, and the personality of the chef in the cuisine.
I believe that is actually our biggest asset. We can serve things that none of y'all have ever had.
So you think that the Michelin guides, Eurocentric Michelin guides, don't recognize how refined Filipino food is?
Yeah.
That's your argument?
Yeah, because my goal and all the other chefs my age and younger chefs who are innovating are trying, we want to take those what some would call taboo ingredients and flip them on its head and present them in ways that are both traditional in flavor but worthy of these accolades that we all want. There was a hawker stand that got a Michelin star in Singapore. The second I read that article, I went, Filipino food can get a Michelin star. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be the only one that does it. Or at least the first one.
Inside his popular fast casual eatery, Andino is quick to admit that his offerings are not quite Michelin worthy yet. But it is all part of his master plan.
The purpose of this is to just be the introduction to Filipino cuisine for anyone who's never had it.
His goal to have a wide audience rhyming off Filipino staples.
Sinigang is basically a tamarind-based soup that's typically made with like short rib.
He let me try a Flip Siggy favorite, sinigang bowl.
It's not just because it's for TV,
At the opening of his second restaurant in Jersey City, he's amassed a growing group of fans for Filipino favorites.
We need more people to try longanisa. That's what we need.
I love chicken adobo. He's actually taught me how to make it.
I'm Chef Jordan Andino, and I'm traveling across North America.
Flip Siggy is star-making for Andino, a launchpad for his thriving TV and content career. He reps Filipino food hard on big American TV shows. On Instagram with almost 100,000 followers, with celebrities like Selena Gomez. All of it, clout and capital, he says he's using to fund the Michelin menu he's developing in his home kitchen.
I'm 75% of the way there, and I have a lot of, let's call them ammunition to give to the culinary world. The second I find a way to do diniguan in a refined way, it'll change the culinary landscape. Because they're gonna go, he just turned pig blood into this broth, and he mixed it with ginger, and also he put some like fish sauce in there, and this dark mushroom soy that's fermented differently.
Look how good that looks. Yeah, buddy.
Andino's not shy to tell you why he thinks he's the guy to get that first Michelin star.
I can do more than just cook it for you. I can explain it to you. I can break it down for people who don't understand cuisine or food. I can articulate it, and that's what we need. I dream big, and we need a champion, right?
Thank you all for supporting Flip Sticky. We really appreciate it. We love
Is a hype man the missing ingredient for a cuisine already complete in flavor? Andino is willing to bet his career on it if it means giving his beloved Filipino food the spotlight it deserves. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
After the break, researchers in Saskatchewan make a rare finding.
And I realized we were dealing with what is known as a petroglyph.
But it's how they find it that's even more surprising. Stay with us. A heritage park near Saskatoon is home to Canada's largest running archaeological dig. But its most recent find may be its most significant. And the way it was discovered is a little surprising. Bonnie Allen first told us about it last month.
Just outside Saskatoon, the Wanuskewin Heritage Park preserves history in the present, honoring the traditional ways of life for Indigenous people. For more than 4 decades, Chief Archaeologist Ernie Walker has been uncovering and preserving prehistoric artifacts.
Little did I know, 40 years later, that all of this was going to come crashing down on me. In a nice way, and in a wondrous way, really, but who knew?
Nearly 2 years ago, bison were reintroduced to the land after a century-long absence. And as bison do, they began rolling and pawing at the ground.
I had surveyed that area earlier and saw no boulders. I mean, there's rocks everywhere, but not a petroglyph.
Leave it to the bison to find one.
We brushed it off, and much to my surprise, there were more grooves. And I realized we were dealing with what is known as a petroglyph. I was trying not to have a heart attack is what was happening.
Actually, 4 engraved rocks with cultural and spiritual significance, embraced as sacred by Elder Cy Standing.
We need, that our history to be told.
At a press conference, the park's Cree CEO called it a gift from the bison.
To know that they're so linked to our spirituality and our culture as Indigenous peoples.
And this finding couldn't come at a better time. The park has been building its case to become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's also been touted as a possible location for the Pope to meet with residential school survivors if there's a future visit to Canada.
We have something precious here.
In the meantime, elders and archaeologists are wondering what else these bison may dig up. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan.
Next, some impressive stop motion by a very young director. Her claymation Christmas is our moment after the break. The mastermind behind this creative music video, 12-year-old Emura Beggett. Her musician dad made a rendition of Carol of the Bells, and for Christmas, he asked for a video to accompany it. So she took out her camera and clay, and tonight, it's our moment.
It was my dad asked me to do a music video for his new album, and he just asked me to do something like wintry, and I kind of just, thought of something when I was listening to the music and wrote it down. I have like all these things kind of making itself for Christmas, like a Christmas feast and some snowman and an ice rink, and a tornado comes and picks them all up, and then they all kind of rebuild themselves at the end. I don't know exactly how long ago it was, but me and my cousin did like a Tales of Tibby thing, and that's, I think, the first one. And then the it was really like shaky. And the second one I got a tripod and a lamp. Now I have like an actual place to do it and stuff. Last project took me like, I think I marked roughly down 17 hours. I like to see the final product all come together.
Her next project is about a tree in the winter, and she's mostly focusing on the sound. She even used sugar to mimic the sound of crunching snow. And get this, the 12-year-old says she actually only told one friend from school about her hobby. But the cat's out of the bag now. Keep up the great work. That is the National for December 24th. Good night.